So, how much do you really need to have saved up in order to comfortably retire? One of the most common answers to this question is $1 million. But in case no one told you today, you probably don't need 1 million saved up to retire. Hi and welcome to the Retire Well project. My name is Rob Bourne, and I'm a retired financial advisor now focused on helping people take control of their financial situation. Whether they're just starting out in life, navigating the challenges of middle age, or preparing for or living in retirement. My goal is to provide guidance, tools, and strategies tailored to every stage of life, so no matter where you are on your financial journey, you can build a secure and fulfilling future. Today, let's talk about a big question that's on many people's minds. How much money do you really need to retire comfortably? A lot of people automatically assume the magic number is $1 million. But here's the thing, you might not actually need that much. Society often throws around the $1 million figure without much reasoning behind it. It's just a nice round number that's become a default goal. However, the reality is that your retirement savings needs are likely unique to your situation. A barrage of financial reports put out by financial institutions suggest retirees do not have enough to retire on. Even the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, ASFA, says a couple needs $690,000 in savings to have a comfortable retirement. At the other end of the scale, ASFA indicates that a person needs only $100,000 to have a modest lifestyle in retirement. In Australia, the ATO tells us that the average Australian male aged 65 to 69 has about $428,000 in retirement savings, while a female has about $379,000. The median figures will represent a better picture as it takes out the high balances and the low balances of the data. So the median figures from the ATO show the average Australian male has about $206,000 in super, while females have about $191,000. This raises an important question. Do we really need as much as we've been told? When we look at the numbers, it's clear that most retirees fall short of the seven-figure savings goal, or even the $690,000 suggested by ASFA. However, many of them are still able to step away from the workforce. For example, in the Rethinking Retirement Report 2025 by Colonial First State in Australia, a poll showed that 64% of retirees are able to enjoy a comfortable retirement. In another report put out by the Australian Seniors Report 2024, 59% of retirees report feeling less financially stressed than when working. Despite all the talk about a retirement savings crisis, the majority of retirees seem to be getting by. That said, surveys and data can sometimes paint an incomplete picture. The way questions are framed can influence the results, so it's always good to take these findings with a grain of salt. But based on the data we have, it's clear that most retirees don't have $1 million saved, and yet they're making it work. For some retirees, Social Security plays a big role in bridging the gap. According to data by the Department of Social Security, 1.78 million Australians were receiving the full age pension as at December 2024, and 845,000 were receiving a part-age pension. This is around 30% of Australians aged over 67. For couples, the full age pension has recently increased to just over $45,000 annually and just under $30,000 for a single. If you've paid off your home and live in an affordable area, this could cover most, if not all, of your expenses. However, many of the recommended savings targets we hear about don't take other income sources like Social Security into account. It's worth considering where these recommendations come from. Many of the savings benchmarks we hear, like the idea that you need 10 times your annual income saved by retirement, or you need 2/3 of your working income in retirement, come from financial institutions. For example, most superannuation funds in Australia and the major banks suggest you need 2/3 of your working income to have a comfortable retirement. But here's the catch. These recommendations are based on income, not expenses. And expenses are what really matter when planning for retirement. It's also important to consider that financial institutions have a vested interest in encouraging higher savings. After all, the more you save and invest with them, the more money they make. It's a bit like the gym industry convincing you that you need a premium membership to stay fit, when a basic membership, or even working out at home, might be enough for your needs. Today's retirees often have access to pensions, which provide a steady income and reduce the need for large savings. However, pensions are becoming increasingly rare for younger generations. When the government introduced compulsory savings or superannuation in 1992, its sole purpose was to replace the dependency on the age pension for older Australians. Younger generations will soon, from July 2025, have 12% of their income put away for retirement, so future generations will have less access to the age pension in years to come. In Australia, the age pension system is under pressure due to an ageing population. While reforms will likely be introduced, it's hard to predict exactly how these changes will impact future retirees. But as superannuation balances increase, there is the possibility of more rigid eligibility requirements to qualify for the age pension. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some people can retire comfortably with less than $1 million, especially if they have other sources of income, like pensions or social security, and have paid off their home. Others may need more, depending on their lifestyle and expenses. The key is to figure out what works for your individual situation. The extremes of being able to retire on $100,000 for a modest retirement that ASFA suggests, or Australians needing 2/3 of their working income in retirement, are outside of reality for most people. It fails to consider individual goals and individual expenses. Are you planning on handing down a legacy for your children, or just looking to fund your retirement? Does it take into account people who are debt-free, or what about the 25% of Australians who still carry debt into retirement? All of these types of questions are going to influence what your number should be. Personally, I think for the vast majority of people, the real solution is going to lie somewhere between both of these extremes. Do you need to have 7 figures invested and saved up in order to have a successful retirement? No. Figures show that people retire all the time without that level of investment. But it does not mean you should go into retirement with minimal savings either. I personally don't agree with this limited savings approach for upcoming retirees and younger generations, but I do really like that this is a topic of conversation. I think the continued barrage of reports and media articles by financial institutions and so-called experts is a deliberate fear-mongering tactic designed to create anxiety and drive more business to their investment products and services. It leads people to feel discouraged, while at the same time suggesting people need to get help and professional advice to reach their lofty standards for retirement. What I do really think is important is that you figure out a number that works best for you. That's not going to be a number that you read about in some mass publication, and it's likely not going to be some number that's in a marketing publication for a financial institution. If I'm stepping away from the workforce, I would want to be as prepared as possible. Personally, I would not be comfortable stepping away from the workforce with just $100,000 in investments and then never working again. But real figures show that many people can walk away from the workforce with a lot less than what most financial institutions recommend and still have a comfortable retirement. You don't need a university degree qualified advisor to tell you this either. It's common sense. The more you save now, the more you will have for retirement. The reality is people in their 20s don't think about retirement like people in their 50s or 60s do, so there is less urgency to save. The reality is the majority of these younger generations will achieve a comfortable retirement through the government's compulsory superannuation. But for existing baby boomers and Gen Xers who did not have the luxury of compulsory savings during the whole of their working careers, it is just a case of working out what your expenses and plans are going to be in retirement and working towards that target regardless of what stage you are currently at. At the end of the day, it's not about hitting a specific number that someone else has set for you. It's more about understanding your own needs and goals and building a plan that works best for you. How much do you think you need to retire on and live comfortably? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.